Sojourner Truth, the former slave who became a powerful abolitionist and women's rights advocate. Sojourner Truth was a woman who defied the odds. Born into slavery in New York in the late 1700s, she would go on to become one of the most powerful voices in the fight for freedom and equality. From a young age, Sojourner knew there was more to life than the brutal existence of a slave. She taught herself to read and write, and dreamed of a better future for herself and her people. But the cruel realities of slavery would continue to haunt her throughout her life. She was sold several times and even had her children taken away. Sojourner refused to be defeated. She escaped from slavery with her infant daughter and went on to become a powerful speaker and activist. At the 1851 Women's Convention, Sojourner gave her famous "Ain't I a Woman" speech. "Well, children, where there is so much racket, there must be something out of kilter. I think that twixt the Negroes of the South and the women at the North all talking about rights, the white men will be in a fix pretty soon. But what's all this here talking about? That man over there says that women need to be helped into carriages and lifted over ditches and to have the best place everywhere. Nobody ever helps me into carriages or over mud puddles or gives me any best place. And ain't I a woman? Look at me. Look at my arm. I have plowed and planted and gathered into barns, and no man could head me. And ain't I a woman? I could work as much and eat as much as a man, when I could get it, and bear the lash as well. And ain't I a woman? I have borne 13 children and seen most all sold off to slavery, and when I cried out with my mother's grief, none but Jesus heard me. And ain't I a woman? Then they talk about this thing in the head. What's this they call it? Intellect. That's it, honey. What's that got to do with women's rights or Negroes' rights? If my cup won't hold but a pint and yours holds a quart, wouldn't you be mean not to let me have my little half measure full? Then that little man in black there, he says women can't have as much rights as men 'cause Christ wasn't a woman. Where did your Christ come from? Where did your Christ come from? From God and a woman. Man had nothing to do with him. If the first woman God ever made was strong enough to turn the world upside down all alone, these women together ought to be able to turn it back and get it right side up again. And now they is asking to do it. The men better let them. Obliged to you for hearing me, and now old Sojourner ain't got nothing more to say. Sojourner's powerful words inspired countless people to join the fight against slavery and for women's rights. And even in her old age, Sojourner never gave up the fight. She traveled the country, speaking out against injustice and fighting for equality. Sojourner Truth may be gone, but her legacy lives on. She showed us that even in the face of unimaginable hardship, we can rise up and make a difference. She is a true hero and an inspiration to us all.